Hey everybody, so today I wanted to do another little update with you guys. So I know that I shared a very long update video not too long ago explaining how my content was going to change. Never mind. Here's the thing, I really don't know what to say in this video. I have been going over it and over it in my head, and I hope that this speaks to how much that I see you guys as a community and my community specifically, because it doesn't feel right to just go into content without talking to you guys. It's like I want to text my friends and I want to tell them what's going on before I just go ahead and do something. And that's the kind of feeling that I get when plans change, things change, whatever, and it involves my channel, because I love you guys and I appreciate your support, and I know that you guys are just, I don't know, you mean so much to me, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I know I say that a lot in many videos, but I mean it. And so I really don't know what to say. I've gone back and forth between like how much I should share and how much I shouldn't, and this, that, and whatever. But I do know that I have to go back to making breast pump content. So let me explain that. So I know that was one of the most major things that I talked about in my video, was letting that go, letting that chapter of my channel go. And you know, if we're talking about strictly how I feel, I do feel ready to move on from that space. I don't know that I'd ever feel 100% ready, just because it is such a large part of my life, or at least it was, and I don't know that I would ever like 100% be willing to just give it up. It's just something that rewarded me on so many different levels, and that I have a genuine passion about, that I think will follow me throughout the rest of my life. So I think it's something that I'm still going to geek out and like want to learn more about, even when my kids might have kids, you know, something like that. So I was ready to be done with that and move on to things. I know I talked about additional channels, but things are shifting backwards, really. Backwards, sideways, I don't know, a little bit of everything. So here's the thing. I quite literally cannot afford to stop doing breast pump videos. Long story short, I thought that my revenue, here's the thing. You need to know one thing about me. I have anxiety. So I have really bad anxiety. And that means that I don't look at the analytics on my channel. That's my husband's job. That's what I give to him. Because if I look at that stuff, it freaks me out to no end. It literally stresses me to where I feel like a deer in headlights and like I can't do my work. So years and years ago, I said, that's going to be your thing. You look at that stuff. I'm gonna stay over here and I'm just gonna make content. So he does touch base with me every now and then, but obviously ever since losing my dad in December, it's been very hard. This has not been a priority for me, and therefore obviously he wasn't touching base. He was letting me have my time to grieve and stuff like that. Well, when I made the announcement that I wanted to kind of move away from that content, I wanted to full steam into my channel, and I was really giving it my all, I was really confused by some things that I was seeing, some trends that I was seeing. Because even though I try to avoid analytics, at some point I do eventually stumble upon them. So him and I had a big sit down and we really looked over my channel and like what has consistently brought in income for me from this job. And it's really nothing but breast pump videos. There are some that are up there that are not breast pump videos, but the main majority of them are how-to videos. I have to keep making them. Not only do I think that I'm well suited to make them, because I'm not gonna bullshit you, I'm gonna be there to help you, I'm gonna give you realistic takes. I know pumps like the back of my hand. Even if they're new and on the market, I can find my way around a pump, and I can make sense of that manual that just seems so overwhelming, especially when you're in the new days of postpartum. So I think that I'm well equipped for that, but I quite literally have to go back to that. And I know for the longest time my channel has been about allowing for my husband to not work as much. Unfortunately, we are not in that position anymore. He is working more than I think he's ever worked with us being together. Maybe with the exception of the time that he was working 7 days a week, 8 hours, maybe 10 hours sometimes. But he is working a ton. and I need to be working a ton, but I also need your guys' help. I've never genuinely asked for help when it has to do with myself personally, and I don't think I'd ever feel comfortable ever asking for anything beyond what I'm about to ask for, but I need you guys to engage with my content, and that's free. That's free. You can play it in the background of when you're doing stuff. You can leave it on your phone and go do something. Whether you want to just like my videos or comment on them or just skip around, let it autoplay to the next one. All those things are super, super helpful. They don't cost you anything but maybe some of your time. And I know that's precious. So I know that I'm still asking for something here. And I would just love your guys' support through this, because it's no longer about making it so my husband doesn't work more. It's about supporting our family. All of us know how expensive life is anymore. I talk to my sister almost every single day about how crushing this all feels. She is the sister who did things the right way with going to college and being on her own, and she is only responsible for herself, a single independent college educated woman. And she is struggling just as badly as we are as a blue collar, like middle class family who didn't go to college and is struggling to make ends meet as well. So I feel like everyone's feeling it. It doesn't matter who you are, what you're doing. There's the people who are feeling it, and there's the people who won't ever feel anything like this. You know what I'm saying? So in the years past, this channel has allowed me to take some weight off my husband. But what I need this channel to be now is to help pull the weight with my husband. Does that make sense? I need this channel to be more about that. I need to take it seriously. It needs to be my job. It doesn't matter that I'm still having a really hard time grieving the loss of my dad, and it's very much still a struggle, even 8-9 months down the line. I guess we are in September, so it's 9 months, and that's ridiculous to me. But I have to get back to this. I have to get back to it. I have to do the things that make me money, and I also have to do things that I know that you guys enjoy. And somewhere in there, I gotta squeeze in some content that I'd also like to make. So that kind of brings me to my another point is that when we were talking about my videos and what I need to do moving forward, it wasn't just about the kind of videos I need to make. We don't think that it's a good idea to start spreading my content throughout different channels, especially when those other channels won't bring me revenue. Will you guys like every single video that I put up? No. But do I hope you stick around for the ones that you do? Yes. I super thoroughly enjoy that. I really hope that's what it turns into. I don't even think super thoroughly enjoy that makes any sense, but I'm just trying to get across that I'm a normal human being with normal concerns, just like you guys are. I'm not some mommy influencer who takes her Louis Vuitton bag and her $80K SUV and goes and spends $400 a day. If you are that mom, I love that for you. Don't get it twisted. I love it for you, okay? You keep on keeping on, all right? But the rest of us are not there. And I just want to convey that because I know that I have a following. I know I have a larger subscriber count than a lot of people who start out and stuff like that. But I really need to reiterate that I'm just a normal person like you guys. I need to do what I can, and I guess what I'm trying to get at is that moving forward, there will be how to use breast pump videos. I don't feel comfortable doing reviews anymore just because I cannot use them. I'm not breastfeeding. I haven't been for, I don't even know now, maybe 2 years, maybe a little bit more. Who knows? Can't keep track. But I don't feel comfortable making those reviews. I think there's definitely other content creators who are better suited for that. But I can make a how to use video. I can make it straightforward, easy to understand, and hopefully helpful. So I will continue to make those videos because they are helpful. They are what generate the most revenue on my channel, and that's the best way that I can support my family. I am also going to start sharing content that I would have put on my other platforms. Now, I understand some of you have absolutely no interest in breast pumps or video games, and I completely get that. I really do. I don't expect everyone to like everything that I'm making. I'm sure there's some of you who never watch any of my grocery hauls, but you stick around for my favorites and like all of this stuff. And I know that my channel's kind of getting to me, it feels all over the place. If we can just be honest, it feels all over the place. But the thing is that if I want to support my family, this is the best way that I can do. I do not need to reinvent the wheel right now, when it's just important that I'm putting one foot in front of the other and trying to help support my family the most that I can. I'm hoping that you guys can just stick around for me, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. I understand that my content is not going to be 100% for every single person. We're not going to share the same interests across the board. There are some of you out there, and I see you and I love you, but not everybody is like that. We all have our own interests, of course. There's people who love plants and love growing plants and taking care of plants and all that stuff, and I couldn't relate less because I kill anything that I touch. But my point is that if you've ever considered me a content creator like worth supporting, or someone that you would consider an online friend, or I really don't know, just somebody worth your time to do those things with, because like I said, I know it's precious, is that I would thoroughly appreciate the support here. I'm not some I don't know. I don't want you guys to think of me as a content creator that's like an unattainable version of yourself. And my husband is a blue collar worker who has worked in the same field for over 10 years now, and he is exceptional at his job and he is amazing. And I think that's what we've been really fortunate with in the years before. We have had a really good balance, you know, being able to afford life, but also having my husband be home and have time with the kids, and myself included. But now we're getting to the point where life is so expensive that some of us are starting to have to make those decisions that we have to work more, we have to be around less. And hopefully this won't be forever. I still want to continue with the general idea of my content that I had said before, that during the homeschool year, a lot of it will be grocery hauls and also haul videos, whether it be, you know, like I have the kids' fall clothing that I need to film, boo baskets, Christmas videos, stuff like that, along with some grocery hauls. Did I already say that? I don't know. Can't keep track. But those kind of things. And then in the summer, when we're not doing homeschool, I can get away and take a break from the homeschool content, and I can do other videos like favorites or, you know, whatever floats my boat. So I guess I'm saying is that I'm going to be sprinkling in some also video game content. Now, would I love to eventually also make horror content? Yes. But the thing is right now, horror content would be a little hard for me to achieve. During the school year, behind the camera videos are what is easiest for me to achieve. So, you know, being able to do a sit down video for something horror related, I don't know how much I'll be able to swing that. I could definitely find it in my schedule to do a recommendation for books and movies for spooky season. I basically just watch horror and only read horror. Yeah. So I've got quite a few recommendations. I can even make some less scary recommendations as well. I understand that this time of year, everyone likes to be a little spooky, I think. Even the people who don't love just like full out horror, they might want something a little spooky, but not quite full on. And I totally get that. And I have recommendations for that as well. In my book club, which we have on Discord, during the month of October, we do have a horror book read, but we also find options for people who may not be into horror and want to read something a notch down. And that's when I typically pick like a creepy thriller or something that I've read. And it's something that I've definitely read that I know wouldn't be too much for somebody, because I don't like making recommendations with books that I haven't read or movies I haven't seen, especially when it comes to that kind of genre, because when people are looking for something less, I definitely don't want to be wrong and give you something more. So also, speaking of my book club, if you would like to join it, you can send me an email. I'm going to respond to as many as I can, but we are on Discord. So we're on Discord. We follow a 4-genre schedule. We just keep repeating it. So that is romance, horror, general fiction, and then thriller. So we've already voted on the books for the next 4 months, so to the end of the year. and we've got those books picked out, and that's how we do it. So that way everyone can get their requests in or holds in, whether it's through apps or libraries or whatever. So that's how our book club works. We're a very much laid back, come as you can type of book club. I'm not taking attendance. I don't care if you don't show up 9 months out of the year. I'm not your mom. I'm not going to track your activity. I really don't care that much. I just want somebody to read books with and have fun discussing them. And it also helps me get out of my genre of horror while also sharing my love of horror with other people. So it's kind of nice because I'm not a romance reader. I'm not really a thriller reader anymore either. I think sometimes I read those unintentionally because they're supposed to be horror. But anyways, it helps me get out of my shell a little bit, and it's just nice to have everybody to talk to about stuff. So if you are interested, just send me an email and I'll send you an email back with the Discord link. I don't want to just put it out there for anybody to join because we do have roles and being respectful and stuff like that. And we do want to be mindful of who we're letting into that Discord because a lot of them have been around since day one and I want to protect their space. It is safe. It's laid back. Everyone is super friendly and nice and cordial. I love it there. So I will protect it just like I protect my channel here, my community elsewhere. So I don't want to just throw a link in the box and let anybody have at it. So for that reason, send me an email if you're interested, because I know I've opened it up on Instagram, but not everybody has an Instagram. So I wanted to mention it over here as well. And I feel like we've gotten a pretty good routine. We've worked out a lot of kinks. And for that reason, I think we are ready to maybe expand it a little bit bigger. I'm not going to take down my other channels because I think in like an optimal point of life, I would love to have separate channels and my main channel not be so chaotic. But for the time being, all my content will stay here on Mama Alia. You guys will be getting video game content, maybe some book content sprinkled back in there, maybe some spooky content, and all the other things that I've already talked about. And the main takeaway of the video is just asking for your support when you can give it. I'm thankful that this is what we have to worry about. You know, money comes and goes, but we are healthy, we are happy, we are content. If we could live in this house forever, that's all I would ever ask. I love this house. We've been in it for almost 10 years now. And I don't know. I just feel like I feel very fortunate that money is our only thing that we're concerned about. So we're doing what we can to address that, just like I know so many of you are. We're all working hard, by the way. I want to point this out because I get this feeling a lot is, you know, Mark and I will be having these conversations about finances and you're just like, you're getting this wheel going in your head thinking, what can I do? What can I do? How can we work more? And it's like, I want to reiterate, you are working hard. You're doing a lot. You're doing way more than what you should, by the way. It shouldn't be like this. It's not you. It really isn't. It isn't about how much you aren't or aren't working. It's not that, babe. It's that we don't have a livable wage. It's that so many people are struggling with so many different things that adds financial stress to families, people in general. So it's not you. I want to, because I have to remind myself of that. We're sitting here, him and I, breaking our backs, trying to do anything that we can just to make sure that this ground stays stable. And it's like, it didn't used to be this hard. This feels kind of screwed up, and it is. Because it has nothing to do with your work ethic or what you are or aren't doing. It has everything to do with the fact that it shouldn't be like this. So I'm sure you guys are working your butts off and you're doing everything that you can and you're providing for your family the best that you can. And we are all in an unfair situation. We really are. People aren't meant to live like this. It is so... It brings you down. It really does. Because they say, you know, money doesn't buy you happiness. But you know what? It pays the bills. And if all of us could have our bills paid for without worrying, I think that would give a lot of people happiness. You know what I'm saying? So they would be able to not work as much, have more time with their kids, do things that they actually enjoy, make themselves more rounded human beings. It goes on and on and on. Okay, so I know money isn't the answer to everything, but it's the answer to a lot. So I just want to remind you that you're doing an awesome job and that it's not you, it's how things are. It's the system. It doesn't work. It's meant to break down regular, normal people. And I'm sorry. I wish that there was anything that any of us could do for each other. And that's the only reason why I feel comfortable asking for your guys' extra support right now. It's a way to help without asking for money or for things that cost more than just time, which time is precious. And I do think that when you're paying with your time, that's very important to pay attention to that and make sure it's worthwhile. But I know so many of us have nothing else to give. That's all I can give you, babe. I can run the videos, and that's what I do with my friends. When I watch their stuff, I just let it autoplay, even on videos I've already seen before. That's what I do when I wash dishes, whether it's Brady's videos or Sarah's videos, or there's a couple of content creators that I gear towards the Dreamlight Valley content. I'll let it autoplay, and I know that I've seen these videos before, but I'm still just gonna let them play. And then once I get done washing dishes, I go through and I like all those videos or make sure that I've liked them and commented on them or something like that. And I think that'd just be a huge help. And that's the only reason why I'm comfortable asking for this, because I know nobody else really has anything else to give. And I hope you know that it's not a moral failing on your part, that it shouldn't be like this. I know things are really hard for a lot of reasons right now. So I really hope that you guys are doing well. I appreciate you being here. There are so many of you that support me through all these years. When I'm away from you guys and I come back, I feel anxious and nervous, like coming back into the room and be like, do people still like me? Do they still want to see my content? And you guys are just like the most amazing hype people ever. You're so supportive. You're so sweet and so kind. And once I get back in the groove of it, it's like, oh yeah, I love this. I love them. I love doing this. This is like, I'm really good at this. Like, this is what I like to do. So I'm eager to get back to that with you guys. And I know that I'm going a little back on what I said, but just know it's for my family. And obviously they are number one to me, and I'll do what I have to. I really appreciate your time and hanging out with me for the entire time, because I know this is probably a long one as well. If you did stick around for the entire video, why don't we put some kind of spooky emoji? It's spooky time. The leaves in the front yard are a little yellow. They're like a green yellow. It's happening, people. It's happening. The leaves are going to be changing, and I'm so excited. This is where I thrive. The cold weather, the dark nights. Ooh, I love it. And here in like 2 months, I'm going to see Christmas lights everywhere. And that is the kind of serotonin that I've been clinging and hanging on to for dear life for this past year. Because that's all I need. I just want to drive down the road and I want to see pretty houses with Christmas lights. That's what I live for. Anyways, also, it's practically Halloween, which practically means it's over, which practically means I can put my Christmas tree up. And we got an artificial tree last year because we were tired of spending money. I love live trees. If I could afford to do that every single year, I still would. But a lot of tree farms have shut down around us, and we don't have very many options. We were finding it harder and harder to find a real one, and the ones we were buying were dying, like before Christmas dying. So we got an artificial one last year, and it is gorgeous. It is amazing. I love her. So I can put that up whenever I please now. So that's a dangerous game, friendo. But I'm so excited. So excited. So let's reel it back a little bit, though. We're going to put a spooky emoji because Halloween isn't over. It deserves its time and place. That's why I started observing it in like August, because I don't think Halloween has enough time. In November and December, and honestly, parts of January are Christmas, okay? I don't make the rules. It's holiday time. Get your lights up. You don't got to celebrate Christmas. Just put the lights up, okay? I'm getting carried away talking about the holidays, so I'm going to go before I keep you here for any longer. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here, for anything that you're going to do moving forward and trying to support me. I greatly do appreciate it. I really, really do. And I am excited to share the video game content with you guys because it really does bring me joy when I do have that small amount of spare time. It is something that I thoroughly enjoy, so I am excited to share it with you guys. I'm also excited to see which one of yous starting to sound like my grandma. She puts an S at the end of everything, the Walmarts. Anyways, I appreciate you guys so much, and as always, thanks for watching.